on a grazing property in central Queensland, located on Rosella Creek, which is about 30 kilometres from Collinsville. The erosion issue at this site consisted of significant streambank erosion for a length of about 700 metres. Rosella Creek is a tributary to the Bowen River, which itself flows into the Burdekin River, with the Burdekin discharging into the ocean near Ayr. Flood waters from the Burdekin ultimately reach the inner lagoon of the Great Barrier Reef from there. The Burdekin River has been identified in the Reef 2050 plan through scientific consensus to be the single largest contributor of fine sediment to the inner lagoon of the Great Barrier Reef. Rosella Creek is a part of that catchment, which is the reason why this site was funded by the Queensland Government. The erosion at the site resulted from meander migration of Rosella Creek into poor quality soils, which consisted largely of silt and clays, which are susceptible to erosion in high flow events. The erosion remediation solution at the site consisted of reprofiling of the vertical bank that was here to a more stable grade to allow for vegetation to grow. The design included the incorporation of a timber pile field to protect the toe of bank during vegetation establishment. We have an active revegetation program on the site with trees planted and watered and an ongoing maintenance program. The timber pile field works by redirecting flow away from the toe of bank and reducing the hydraulic force against the bank in flood events, allowing time for the revegetation to establish. In time, the timber pile field will rot away and it will be replaced by the vegetation that is established, which will take over the role of erosion prevention. This type of solution is known as an environmentally integrated solution and is being increasingly used in the reef catchments to replace harder engineering solutions like rock armouring. The site selection process had to be revisited early on in the project due to a change in ownership of the property that our original site was located on. Even despite lengthy time allocations for all of the approvals processes, there were still little issues that arose that meant the process took longer than we had anticipated and required a very hands-on approach to resolve. The process commenced in 2022 when we applied for grant funding from the Queensland Government. We were ultimately successful and we then completed the detailed design and gaining all of the environmental and cultural heritage approvals in 2023. Construction was completed at the end of the dry season in 2024. Maintenance and monitoring is ongoing until the end of the program at the end of 2025. The project will save between 3,500 and 4,000 tonnes of fine sediment from entering the inner lagoon of the Great Barrier Reef each year. The fine sediment component, which makes up about 60% of the eroding material from the site, is the component that has the most impact on the inner lagoon of the Great Barrier Reef and is ultimately what the funding has been allocated to address. In addition, the remediation activities play a broader role in overall landscape repair through the revegetation of the site. We would like to offer our sincere thanks to the landholders of the property on which the project's based. We would also like to thank the traditional owners, subcontractors and material suppliers that we worked with throughout the project, as well as the Queensland Government. We look forward to working with the Queensland Government on similar projects in the future.